don't be in love with the art, because the art will change. The form of it will change. How culture likes it, how culture accepts it will constantly change. And if you are in love with that one style, you're dead.
Hey everybody, welcome to the first and only very first episode of the NoFold podcast. I'm super excited to start this podcast. Reason why we called it NoFold, because we're putting all our chips out on the table. We never fold. We're always betting. Always got poker face.
Always going for the big win. Every time.
High risk, high reward, baby.
Yes. Volatility to the max. We're throwing all the money on Tesla stocks.
Invest in Bitcoin. Dogecoin.
To the moon. We're going. But in all honesty, guys, this is like something that we've been wanting to do for a while. We're super, super excited to start doing this podcast. I know we've been talking about it for a while now. And like getting something together. And it's one of those things that it is a risk. And there's not like an easy way to like sugarcoat it and be like, oh yeah, man, it's easy. You can podcast every week. You can record it. You can chop up all the content. It's like, nah, it ain't that easy. But like, we're taking the risk, and the risk could be like people don't like it. But at the end of the day, I'm like, who cares? Because I don't.
True.
But, I mean, you don't either, right?
Yeah, we just take risks.
Exactly.
Fun fact, we figured out this name 20 minutes ago. So
yes. On the spot.
We ain't folding anymore.
Talk about major bluffs right here. We're sitting at the table. We're like,
oh yeah, you don't need to know that though. We're bluffing. We could have lied to you.
Pocket aces. Got them every time.
Every single time. But today we wanted to kind of like jump in and kind of start the like episode off with a bang, kind of. I wanted to talk about why we're starting this podcast, because I feel like the podcast industry is already and is about to get like super saturated, because anyone with a phone can start a podcast. Anyone with this is like $500 here. Anyone with $500 can start a podcast. But we're here, and I think we're going to be doing some stuff a little bit different.
Yeah, just a little bit different. I think we're going to try to mix it up. Like, you see people that are doing podcasts and talking, just like we are, like getting the content out there. But I think what we're going to try to do is, because we're the NoFold podcast,
exactly,
we're going for the big stuff. And the big stuff is kind of like unknown territory right now. There's not a lot of people pushing podcasts to that next level. They're leveraging podcasts as just like a conversation piece, but we're like, yo, like the conversations are dope, but like, what if we actually like were the content? Exactly. What if we actually were the ones like asking others what's working and what's not? True. I think that's a big thing, because like a lot of people use Google for research like every day. It's like, how do I do this? I don't know. Let's Google it. So it's like, there's a lot of people already making really good content out there. But I think there's something to like us that are just starting out, people that are listening right now or watching that are like, yo, like, where do I even start? And I think that's the hardest question. And it literally, it petrifies people. I think it literally, like, to their core, they don't know what to do at that moment. Because it's like, well, there's Instagram. Well, there's TikToks. Like, people are saying TikTok's blowing up. I need to be on TikTok, but I'm not funny. So, like, I'm not going to make a video. Or, like, I want to do, like, more posting. I want to make social vlogs and stuff. And it's like, I also think the vlogs are kind of dead. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't
you mentioned the word petrified. You know who I think of really is petrified right now? Our audio listeners. You know why? Because they're just listening to two random people talking. We never said our names.
This is true. Wow. Like, I don't know how you guys don't know us already. That's kind of like
we're kind of a big deal. This is how many subscribers I have right now, as you can see. But my name's Ezekiel. Maybe you know me from my popular videos, such as a couple anime reviews I've done, but that's about it.
Yeah. And I'm Matt Floyd. I've been doing video now and like content creation for like probably like 4 years now. But yeah, I think it's one of those things that we both we work together. We've done a lot of video stuff together. And it was something that we were like, yo, we really want to try to like help others out there. Cause like we've been helping each other or telling people around us what we need to do. How do we need to do something? And honestly, it was like, the first thing was like live streaming. And like, to you guys out there, like listening and watching right now, live streaming, that's a whole nother level. Like when you ask people, they're like, yeah, so you like pull your phone out and you hit live and it records. It's like, yeah, that's like the most dumbed down, simple version you can do. But like what we were pulling off, pretty crazy. And to say we didn't fold.
True.
But like
NoFold podcast,
bro,
baby.
we didn't fold. We were like, nah, you know what? And I think that's where like the conversation can kind of like turn on its head. Is like that is the NoFold like thought process. And I think that's what I want you guys out there listening to this is to understand is that like it's so hard to like just create stuff and not let the world judge you, because then like the world's gonna judge no matter what. How you interpret it is everything, like everything. And if you're like, yo, so and so, like this guy user 47, my mom like said this about me, you're like, come on, dude. Come on. Like that can't stop you. If that's stopping you from creating content, like
maybe you shouldn't have even walked up to the table.
Yeah.
You know?
Like really, you got to have like a little bit of like humph about you. I don't know what that is. Like I don't know, that gesture of like
audio listeners, love you to death.
Yeah.
Whatever that was. But I also think this podcast, the story of this podcast really comes from a place of both of us really like to like help people. Only problem is I don't know about you, ethos, logos, pathos. We don't got a lot of ethos, okay? He's got 4 years of experience. I've got 19 years of growing up in the internet age. But a lot of it really comes down to us starting this podcast to publicly hold ourselves accountable to achieve big things.
Yes.
Like I said, here's the subscribers again. Around this time, I wanted a lot more than that.
Bro, just enlighten us with your YouTube in the last year.
I have uploaded exactly one video. I want to upload 52 this year, and I have uploaded one. 52, of course, is how many weeks there are in a year. But we're getting there. We're getting there. And that's the big thing about this podcast is I don't want to come back here next week and tell you I haven't uploaded a video. I want you to come to me and be like, yo, bro, that video was sick.
Yes.
And that's the big thing is like, you'll see us doing it. So yes, is this podcast kind of selfish? Yeah, we're freaking not folding. Okay. That's a one-man job.
Exactly. You're going for the whole pot right there. You're not like, yo, let's like 50-50 this. It's like, yo, we're working together as a team to try to beat everyone else at the table for that jackpot. And that jackpot for us is literally breaking through content creation in 2021.
Exactly. And this podcast can only get better.
Yes.
Because as we grow as creatives, we'll learn more and we can give you more. We're not coming
100%.
from a place of like I grew this like super multi-million-dollar business and I'm set in my ways and I can never change. It's like, no, we have to change in order to grow.
Wait, you're saying those ads on YouTube aren't all real? Like I can make money online in like 10 minutes?
You can. Like, you can with Dogecoin.
Dogecoin. Oh.
Dogecoin. Just make sure you know exactly when Elon tweets like it's insider trading.
Yes. get that push notification for Twitter set up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But so yeah, this podcast is centered around that of just accountability. Is keeping you guys accountable as the audience grows, as we do more stuff. We'll be here, we'll be with you, we'll be keeping you accountable, and you better be keeping us accountable too, because like, come on guys, come on, like we're all a team here. We're working solo, but we're a collective. Okay?
Yes, and we're trying to push the limits, and like we started off saying, like it's very easy in today's society to create content.
Very
Very,
you have a phone,
easy.
pick it up.
Exactly. Like if you got this thing and it's not a flip, like maybe you can with flip, you can still film.
Like a really nice Samsung flip phone.
Yeah. If you have one of those ones that are like paper thin.
Yeah.
But anyways, like you can create content. It's not that hard. The key win is to create content that's going back to the basics, authentic to you.
True.
Like I'm not gonna be a Peter McKinnon. I don't know if you guys know that on YouTube. This guy's great with videos. He's been doing videos for a long time. Amazing skills as an artist. But I'm not going to be him. I'm not going to try to create content like him. And I think because of our world with social media right now and how we're just like looking to everyone and we're like, yo, like they're doing this, or wow, they did successful at this, so I'm going to try to make something like that, or I'm going to try to build my way like them. And it's like, don't. You're going to hurt yourself. Or if anything, you're just going to fall short of that, and then you're going to let yourself down, and then you're like, why did I even start in the first place? Which is, I feel like a lot of people right now, especially
a lot of people fall into the trap of they see their favorite creators and rather than model off of them, they copy, which is a trap that I've fallen into certain times, and you can see it in some of my content, and it is like you were saying, like it's kind of a bad thing. It doesn't hurt to like see a Peter McKinnon and be like, I want to do B-roll shots.
Yeah.
But if you all of a sudden were a Sony shooter and then you switch over to all Canon gear and you're doing nothing but B-roll at 4K 120 frames per second, and then when your content flops, you'll go, but I have a model to clearly show this works. No, the reason why Peter McKinnon content works is because it's Peter McKinnon, not because of what you're looking at.
100%. So like, I think what we can start off with is like accountability is what we touched on. Like, keeping yourself accountable or having someone that keeps you accountable of creating content. I know, like right now, real estate. I have actually some family members that are real estate, and they're like, yeah, I see so-and-so making content about this. And I'm like, it's not that hard. It's just you being okay with being in front of the camera and just creating stuff around your industry. So like, if you're a new person out there that's like a younger kid that's like, yo, like, I don't know what I really want to do yet. Like, try stuff. Like, there's not a wrong answer to like be like, if you want to make videos about real estate, then do it. If you want to make videos about like bugs, because you're like, yo, bugs are really cool, then do that.
It.
Like, don't let society be like, well, if you're not doing this and this is what's popping and that's not popping, so like that's not cool right now. So like, don't do that. Do this instead. It's like, no.
Yeah.
Like,
And this is the podcast where you will get motivated by watching us practice what we preach. You know, this isn't a podcast where you'll find like a title of like 3 ways to get back on your creative diving board. Like, no, okay.
That was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Andy J Pizza. We'll keep that over there. Creative pep talk is for him. We are not giving you a pep talk. We are giving you stories. We're gonna push ourselves. We're gonna come in here and be like, yo, remember we went to the moon with Elon Musk? That will hopefully encourage you guys to not go, wow, they did all this. They're so cool. It's like, you saw us here. You saw us like we
are on a secondhand couch from a bar that I got off of Craigslist.
Exactly.
In my house.
People listening to this, probably in nicer cars than we have, probably on nicer couches than we have, or playing on their epic multi-$1,000 gaming computers while listening to this. Like, we could be below you, we could be above you, but at the end of the day, we're all on the same plane because we're all content creators.
Yes. And so I think what we need to start off with is like, in 2021, content creators, what do you think are the first steps into creating not only good content, but content that you can build on rather than just like content to make content? Because I think that's where a lot of people get lost. It's like, oh, content is king. And it's like, yeah, content is king, but in its own kingdom, in its own castle, not just in general. You can make all the content in the world, but if you're the king of the desert and no one's there, cool. But like, that doesn't mean anything.
King of.
Yeah. So like, what would you say, like, for you being a younger person, being able to like break into this industry and all you know is the internet, what would be like 3 or 4 steps that like segued you into creating content?
Like three steps to get you onto your creative diving board?
Yeah, creative diving board.
I just said he's not even listening. Guys, oh my goodness, I cannot believe this. I would say no steps. It's as simple as this, because again, speaking from only my own personal experience,
I was trying to tee that up so much for you. I was like trying to get back into like the ad roll, like pre-roll. And I was like, guys, wait a second. Wait, before you hit swipe, or before you hit next video, watch this video. I'll change your life in a matter of 5 minutes if you just do these 3 simple steps. Don't believe all these other guys out there. Like, dude,
guys, I'm going to be giving you $1 million Shopify store for $5.
You want to have cars like this? You want to have this Lambo? Well, this didn't come overnight, but this one did because it was overnight shipping, if you get what I mean.
Fun fact, we don't have Lambos. And I don't know about you, I probably won't. Probably nicest car you'll see me in is like a Tesla.
Bro, I would be scared to death to drive a Lambo.
I heard they don't have air conditioning, so I'm kind of out.
Yep.
Exactly. But
back to what we were saying.
I think for me, what I've realized within my own content creation, the reason why I haven't uploaded is because I get so caught up in producing the best video every time. And my friend said it to me best, who's been keeping me accountable, not this one, but a different friend, said,
we're not friends.
You don't have the audience to be concerned with making the best content. It's about getting it out there. So I think for anyone, regardless if they grew up in the internet or if they're you or if they're 50, 60 years old, focus on making content that is like model off of someone. Try it, edit like them, do whatever. But then put your own little twist on it and hit publish. That's what we're doing with this podcast. Hitting publish and then look over that video, look at the analytics, see how it performed, and then say, what can I do better? What did I like? What did I not like? For me, I change up who I watch all the time. So you might go on my channel and you're like, that looks like that guy. That looks like that guy. This is completely original. Like I change up who I like, so I'll change up who I emulate all the time.
Yeah.
And that's like comes from finding your own style. There's nothing like original, but the one thing that separates someone who wants to be a YouTuber and someone that is their ability to hit publish regardless.
Yeah. That it's a red button, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That red button's scary for a lot of people on YouTube. I think it's because it's just so much they don't trust themselves. They don't think that they're good enough.
For me it's always the am I missing something? Like, you know, when you like walk out of a room and you're like, I feel like I'm forgetting something. That's how I always, like, if I'm like too engrossed in a video, that's how I feel hitting the publish. I'm like, I bet I could have changed that. I think the timing of that title was off. I think, oh man, I'm going to lose so much retention in this like first little bit. It's like, yeah, maybe you're right, but you won't know until you hit publish.
This is true. I think, I think it's just trusting yourself, knowing that like, you're not going to hit everything in the world on one video. It's scary, like you said, because you're like, I think I'm missing this, or I'm missing the flair, or I'm missing the excitement. Like people are going to click off in a matter of 3 seconds. Well, whoop-de-doo. I'm sorry to tell you, if they click off in 3 seconds, it's probably because they just don't want to watch the video.
And you look over it and you make a better video.
Exactly. Don't take that as like, wow, they just don't like my stuff. It's like, no, take that as like, yo, how can I convince people to watch? Like if Mr. Beast, I don't know if you guys know who Mr. Beast is, but on YouTube, if he would have had that kind of thought process, he wouldn't be Mr. Beast.
Yeah. Because he wouldn't have the luxury of not being able to upload.
Yeah. It's just like, it's such a simple thing, but like, don't take it as negativity. Take it as a learning moment of like, wow, okay, maybe I thought I was this good, but I'm not. Well, okay, like don't take that as like, wow, I can't believe they hate me. It's like, no, take that as like, all right, I'm going to get better. And that's what we're doing here. We're constantly getting better. And some of the stuff, hate to break it to you, that we're going to tell you guys about or do in front of the camera when it comes to like creative stuff, some of it might not work. That's part of the process. You're not going to win every hand.
Or some stuff might work now and won't work when you're scrolling through an archive of hundreds of these episodes.
100%. Yeah. So I think it's always the art of ever constant change. I think.
And never being afraid to publish.
Yeah. 'Cause so many people are in love with the craft, but don't love that process. Yeah. They fall in love with one style of that craft. And if it's not that, the agency world, I don't know. I mean, you're younger, so you probably haven't worked in an agency, but a lot of agencies out there, for people that are listening, like they're married to their craft. And one of the best advice I got from when I worked at VaynerMedia with Gary Vee, and you probably guys know him out there, it was one of those things was don't be in love with the art. Because the art will change. The form of it will change. How culture likes it, how culture accepts it will constantly change. And if you are in love with that one style, you're dead. True. You're not going to be moving forward. So I think it's like one of the things, it's like, hey, that's why TikTok works so well right now. Because TikTok is like anything and everything you can want it to be. It ain't like comedy. It ain't serious. It ain't drama. It's just like whatever you want to think that's fun. Yeah, that you can make it into. You can make it into a docuseries. Like I'm actually trying that with an artist right now. I don't know. My friend Jack Kennedy, he does music. He's awesome. He's one of my best friends. We're gonna try out this thing on TikTok where it's like we're gonna make his music videos, but music videos that are almost like telling a story, but it's gonna be like part 1, part 2, part 3. Because I'm like, if you know on TikTok, that stuff's working right now. A lot of people are like, scroll back or like click here to go back to part 1 or go to my page to see part 2, and it's like, I don't know. If it's a good story and it's only for like 15 seconds, it's mysterious. It's like, you got my attention. I want to at least go see that. And that's the win, guys. It's not like you have to create this magnificent commercial. It's like, no, just like entice the audience with what you want them to be enticed with when it comes to your storytelling, however it is, and then just do it.
Yeah.
And like you said, don't be afraid to post. Like, people that don't post, no one cares because they don't know you exist.
Yeah, the greatest artist in the world will never know him because he might not ever post.
100%. So, like, I think what we can do is we can segue. We have
well, before you do that, you kind of made me kind of get kind of like vulnerable there, you know, kind of like confess like my like why I'm a failure on YouTube. But
I wanted you to clarify out there, everyone. It wasn't a jab. It was more of like, I remember you talking about it.
You don't need to clarify. For all you listeners, I'm just going to throw it right back at you. So, as you know, Matt Floyd, as you don't know, actually, this is our first episode. Matt Floyd does a lot of stuff, okay? And he just so much. Matt, first of all, pinpoint what is the like one or two things you're doing right now that you want to do and you want to make all your bajillions of dollars with. First. Second, what is the thing that's like holding you back from
publishing content,
hitting and going for it?
I think that's, very valid. I'm pointing at you, but all four fingers are pointing back at me. So like, I'm just as guilty of it. I know I could be posting more. It's one of those things that I think I fell into the trap of making a perfect plan. And I think a lot of people out there, if you're listening, it's like people love to whiteboard. Like, whiteboard everything, whiteboard this, and you're like, you see your grand master plan, you can showcase it to the world, you can tell everyone about it, but have you done anything with it?
Yeah.
Like, that's where I think I fell into that trap of like, I'm going to like, literally.
What was in that perfect plan, though? You forgot that part. What was in that perfect plan?
Wait, no, dude, no one ever reveals their secrets. That's how they stay rich, right? That's how it works.
Sort of. But we're going to give it all up for you here.
This ain't nothing. Yeah,
here's how I make like $5.
Yeah, exactly. Grubhub.
Exactly.
No, it was coming down to like, I wanted to do video content. That's what I fell in love with when I first started. But I think what happened to me is I started taking video content and I didn't want to fall into like a category because I saw a lot of that within the agency world where it was like, oh, you do this, then that's all you do. And I think with content creation, there was so much more to that. And so I was like, you know what? Like, my grand master plan was more of like building a major production company. I was like, yo, I'm going to make this production company. It's going to be local. We're going to make dope music videos. We're going to do crazy shoots for stuff. And like, that's still part of the plan, but you got to diversify. And I think that's what I was not doing at the time. I was so gung-ho on like just making the production and like doing the best video work possible when like you can make the best videos possible, but how do you use that video to gain marketing dollars? How do you use that video to gain influencing in content creation and social influence?
True.
That was the thing that I was like, I don't think people have figured that out yet. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to open this door. We're going to see where it goes. And I think I'm down the hallway right now. I'm not like all the way to the other side yet, but I'm in the hallway and I'm seeing some really cool stuff when it comes to like all the other things I'm doing that like video was that segue in. So like I think a lot of young creators out there, I think they're trying to do too much at once. And it's like, go find that one thing that you love doing. If you like to write. Like, write the heck out of blogs. If you love to do podcasting like us and you want to talk, then do a podcast or stream or like whatever. If you love doing video, get a cheap camera. It's not going to be like, oh, you can do it on your iPhone.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't, there's the limit or the barrier to access is like slim to none right now. Like, it used to be like, oh, if you don't have like a decent DSLR for a vlog camera, then you can't vlog. It's like, nah, man, you can vlog on your camera right now. That iPhone is way better than like $500 cameras out there right now. So like, I think that's the true win. And that's what I did to get into this industry. Now I'm like a project manager, which is really cool for me because I like managing like all these different tasks. And I love troubleshooting. I love trying new things. I think that's kind of like my DNA makeup is like not afraid to fail. So because of that, I'm going to try all these things knowing that I'm going to fail at a lot of them.
True.
But I'm okay with that. And I think that's where a lot of people, like even in my own family, think it's so hard because it's like, what if I mess up? What if this doesn't work out?
It's the exact same thing as the analytics don't come till you do it.
Bro, I was working at Jamba Juice this last year.
I actually didn't know that.
If you guys don't know Jamba Juice, it's a smoothie chain. I was working there.
You don't know Jamba.
I worked at Amazon. Like, people are like, wait, he's a content creator. Like, yo, he's good, man. He's rolling. Like, he's making the money. He's doing his thing. He's working his own job. It's like, yeah, that didn't come overnight. Like, I did this for years, trying things. And when it didn't work out or it didn't pan out or I didn't get paid a lot, I was like, yo, I got to still survive. Well, back to work I go. And I think that's where a lot of people get stuck, is like they get this glamorous thought of like, oh, you're a social content media creator. You're doing this. This is your kind of life. And it's like, no, like, you're just, whoever's listening right now, like, you're probably just like us. We're figuring stuff out. We don't have that glamorous job. We're just doing stuff, trial and error. And then when it works, it's like, cool. And then let's keep getting better at that.
Yeah.
And I think that's the next wave of video, or not video, but just like creatives out there coming into the workforce. And I don't think the workforce is ready. Like, I really think that a lot of agencies and like big businesses are scared to death right now. Like, because they're like, how do we got to hire a position for a TikTok creator? Wait, we got to give them $50K a year for TikToks?
That's pretty cheap.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, $50K is low for them. Like, that's what's crazy about the digital era right now, is that there's not like a set in stone. And so all these older styles of businesses that aren't involved in like high-end digital yet, or at least like not in it every day, like day to day, they're scared. Because it's like, whoa, like, he's not typing on the computer. He's not like getting this PR piece for me to go publish on like this news site. It's like, nah, man, it's called LinkedIn. Throw your thoughts up there and let other people comment. Like, that's the crazy thing. So I'm sorry. I know I've been talking for a while, but like, that's how I got into what I'm doing now, was just not afraid to fail, trying other things and exploring. And there's so much.
I want to ask you, because you do a lot, very diversified. Right now you're like doing like freelance stuff, right? Mm-hmm. I'm going to hit these, see if I get them all right. You're doing like freelance stuff. You're also working at an ad agency as an employee.
Yeah.
And then also like kind of building up your company, Fresh Browns.
Yeah.
It's like those three?
That's the main thing, yeah.
Okay. Which one out of those three would you want to like, you're like, this is what I want to put all my heart into, what's going to make me all the money? Which one?
That's tough. I think right now I would go into the ad agency.
Interesting.
Because
that was the last thing I expected.
I know. And I think that's a lot of people. They're like, why would you do that? You have the perfect, like,
why would you work a 9 to 5?
Yeah, like, why
Live
do
the
that?
grind.
Well, let me tell you that it's not a 9 to 5. That agency that I'm doing is all remote. That agency I'm doing is all digital. And so there's so many things and people that I'm meeting now that I'm like, whoa, that's cool. Or like, oh, I definitely don't want to do that. Now I know. Like, I think that's what's opening my mind to so much now. And it's exciting for me. I'm like, yo, I'm going to like figure this out and like get better at it. And then eventually use that processing, use that thought process, that leadership skills, like everything I've built in the agency, and use it towards like business. Use it towards building a production company. Because like right now I can continue to build that, but I know it's not going to get to the level it is because my heart's not all there right now. But I'm okay with that. Like, I think you got to be okay with that, listeners. Like, you got to be okay with like knowing that like your passion, if you're not in it 100%, that it's not going to get there like within the next 6 months. It's going to be probably a couple years. Like, unless you go viral on every other TikTok you make from here on out, which just doesn't happen, like, good luck. But be happy with that. Like, I'm happy with learning. I'm happy with trying that. And so, like, yeah, if I had the ad agency right now, it is that, because I think I'm also working with a lot of young other people that are in the same boat. And they're like, yo, like, I could start my own thing, but like, I'm going to take as much as I can. So when I was working in VaynerMedia, took everything I can. I'm like, yo, I'm going to learn as much as I can. Do I want to run VaynerMedia? No. Do I want to be Gary? No. But do I want to learn from him? Yes. And I think that's what the like new age is going to fall into. It's either going to be like, we're creating the content for people for years to come. And this is like our like guidelines, our branding, our style to digital, or we take what we can from people that are currently up at the top and continue to evolve that level of thought process, thinking, and content creation from that standard, not just like make a cool video, throw it online, hopefully you get famous in the next 2 or 3 years. So that's my thought. But I think that's where I'm at. Like, do you have any other opposing things? Do you think that's a bad idea? Like, just curious.
Oh, about like you picking the ad agency?
Yeah, I'm just curious.
Oh, well, for me, you know me, I am someone who is just like a very focused on, which it doesn't look like it, but internally, I am very focused on like very few things at one time. I make money to support what I actually want to do. Mm-hmm. That's it. So if I work a job, I'm doing it purely to work and put that money towards YouTube.
Yep.
So I think it's interesting that you picked the ad agency, because I see the benefit, and like the like connections is a big thing. Because if you think about it, you're like working with people around you. If you're, thinking about the business in the back of your head, when you finally want to launch it, there's all your employees.
Exactly, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and that's a way to think about it, is like not people, like the whole idea of like you gonna be at the top by yourself is very rare. And if you do that, it's painfully like lonely. It hurts. Like, you gotta have those people that believe in you around you and building you up. Like, that's gonna be the key to success, is not like you creating the next Elon Musk idea. It's gonna be like you and a couple other people that believe in what you're doing.
You find the right team.
Exactly, man.
Yeah.
And bringing that to the top. So like, I think what I want to do is I want to hit these questions, because I think these are actually pretty funny.
I don't know these questions at all. I'm kind of nervous.
So these are unknown questions to Zeke. This is questions about like content creating questions in 2021 and like starting to create content. What would you do? Should I start streaming video games?
Streaming video games? Ooh, that's a tough one. Answer right off the bat, no. Unless you plan on making supplemental content. Like,
define like supplemental content.
If you only want to get on Twitch, which is a bad idea, which we'll get into in another podcast, but if you only want to get on Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, whatever, and just stream for 12 hours a day, you'll see nothing out of it. Mm-hmm. And if you enjoy that, great. But if you want to like make it your career, don't. You need to like stream for 6 hours a day and spend another 6 hours making the best YouTube video of all time.
Yep.
Or not really, but like the best YouTube video out of what your 6 hours of streaming was, and then upload that, and then spend the next day cutting your stream into TikTok. And then you stream 3 times a week. You're still streaming, but you're also building an audience that will actually watch you stream.
100%.
So should you just stream games? No. Never. Why? There's a reason why live streamers have teams to do this stuff, to edit things. That's why if you go on like Ninja, it says like edited by, like Ninja's not sitting there editing it, but he knows the value in like putting out on YouTube, putting out on TikTok, and all that stuff.
100%. Should I start a podcast?
I think it all depends on your reason why. For us, it's accountability. Mm-hmm. It's the content, or like for us, it's all about being here and honestly not wanting to come back here and saying the exact same thing every week. I want big stories. I want like huge things, and it's going to have to push us to do big things and to meet crazy people. For other people, podcasts are a great way to learn more about the person behind the mic, which is a lot of what this is. You'll learn more about us because we're learning more about ourselves, especially because we're both very young in the content creation space. But I mean, for like a lot of bigger creators, they start podcasts because they're like, I want you to see like me, like raw. Like that's why
you in a Lambo. Yeah.
But like podcasting.
Exactly. Yeah. No, that's good. Should I start a YouTube channel?
I think anyone and everyone should start a YouTube channel and should upload 100%. A video. Just one. Because I feel like YouTube is, a lot of big creators describe it as like this dopamine drug. And I feel like at least everyone should upload one, like put in the time, upload one good video and just wait. Yeah. And honestly, see how you respond to that hitting that publish button. Like I was saying, for me, it's kind of scary to hit the publish button because I have this weird like imposter syndrome complex in my head. But once I upload it, I want to tell everyone and their mother that I just made the coolest YouTube video of all time.
And you gotta go check it out.
And I am so proud of every single one of those views.
Yeah.
But like, I would have never known that if I wouldn't have started. So I feel like everyone should like not necessarily put their 150% into making 52 videos in a year or daily vlogging, but just like upload one, edit it in iMovie, edit it in DaVinci Resolve if you're on Windows. Don't use Windows Movie Maker. But like, just like try it and see how it is.
That's just trash. When they made that, were they thinking, yeah, this is the next big thing? Like, there's some things that are made, you're like, bro, where was your head when you were making that? Like,
don't know. Some people have made careers off of it, but it's because they just don't know how to use anything else.
No, that's good. I agree. I think YouTube is definitely, it's not going away. So like, why would you not throw content out there that you just have about yourself or your brand or a brand that you really care about and just let it live? Because it's not going to go away. Like, YouTube's not going to be like pulling all the videos tomorrow. Yeah. That's going to be like, YouTube is going to be like a video library. 100%. Like, it's going to be like a Blockbuster. You remember where your Blockbuster, bro?
I'm killing. Go way back.
Yeah. This is way past your time, but there's one Blockbuster left in Oregon. Yeah, we have the last Blockbuster. Yep. If you 90s kids know or 80s, like, bro, Blockbuster was the place. But it's the same thing. It's like all these videos on the wall, and you're like, that one looks cool. It's like looking at thumbnails. It was like you looked at the cover of the video.
Yeah.
The DVD or the VHS wasn't in that actual like container. It was just like the image, and you're like, that looks cool. Click, take the video, take it home. Yeah. It is the digital Blockbuster.
Basically, if you've ever been in a conversation with someone and they say, "What do you do?" and you explain it, and they go, "That's cool," or "That's interesting." You need to be making YouTube. You need to make one YouTube video.
100%.
Like I was telling
100%.
This guy, he's like, I'm too busy, whatever. I said, you need to like vlog all that you do. Just pull out a camera and do it, because you do too much, and I need to know what's happening. I need to keep up with how this guy. I'm not even kidding you. Matt will walk up to me and be like, "Yeah, I was just shooting with a rapper, whatever." But anyways, I'm kind of busy right now. I'm currently in talks with Marvel, but I can get back to you in an hour. And I'm like, why does no one else in the world know about this?
Bro, well, thank you for that. I think I do need to start vlogging that.
Or just do TikTok. Do a minute-long TikTok
That's what I need to do. Okay, you know what?
Every day.
I'll hold that to you. Every day?
Dude, it's a minute.
Every day.
It's a minute.
Day. No, I will try to do that. Just like you were going to publish a video by next week, I'm going to try to do a TikTok every day starting tomorrow.
Starting tomorrow
up until the podcast for next Tuesday. I'm going to do it every day, and then we'll reevaluate and see if it works, which is what you guys need to be doing, listening. Like, try stuff. Don't be afraid of it. Like, we're going to take the chance just as much as you guys will. I might have 10 views on one, but I'm not going to go back and delete it. I feel like that stuff hurts people, and I think that, like, unless it's a negative video being like the negative connotation or a negative outcome, then that should be taken down, because that's just not building anyone up and it's hurting the platform in general. But if you have old videos, just like leave them. Like the whole, like, unless maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm like, yo, you need to take those down because it's going to help your like, I don't think so. I think that's BS. I think it's just something that it's like you as the person don't like your old stuff, so you don't want to see it anymore, and so you don't want to see it anymore, delete. Like, no, leave that, because you don't know, like 5 years from now, or even 3 years from now, TikTok's still around, and it's like, yo, like, old videos are back in. People start publishing older videos, and they're like, yo, look at that. That was cool. Yeah,
that's like the
recap
meta
stuff
on YouTube. At any moment, you can just have a video from a long time ago just get recommended 100%. To everybody, or you build up like a super dedicated fan base, and they go back and they watch all your old videos. Like, please don't watch my old videos. But
there is something to it.
Like, also, as a creator, it gives you a model for looking at that thumbnail, looking at that video, remembering and going, I never want to do that again.
Scale, yeah. Like, you know where you started, just like we're doing here. Like, I want to see this podcast in like 2 years. We also want to tell the viewers or the listeners also, like, we made this whole vision statement. Can you elaborate on that? Because I think that was pretty cool, and I never actually did it
I
myself.
don't want to give away all our secrets.
No, not all the secrets, but is this something like just like a fraction of it? Of like
Essentially, the vision statement was centered around accountability.
Mhm.
It was basically me writing down that this podcast, the NoFold podcast, will upload 52 videos in the next 365 days, or 52 podcasts.
Yeah.
You will also see us do special episodes, talking to people, maybe interacting with people, doing like insane things, trying out creative mediums, never folding, like doing different things. And also the biggest thing on that was us holding each other accountable to make sure that we get these episodes. You should be listening to this on a Friday, because that is when it will come out. It's not an if, it's a when. So as a viewer, you can expect that it will come out every Friday. And for us, that'll be a big thing in that dopamine rush of like, look at us, we're at least doing this.
Exactly. No, that's the best way to put it. So I think everyone should have a plan going into something. I don't think you should go into something blindly. But that plan doesn't need to like be executed at the end. It can be executed as you're planning. Like, I think there's what, like we talked about earlier, it's like you get stuck and you're like, oh, well, I'm not at the very last step. I can't start yet. And it's like, no, you can. Like, you're not hurting anyone but yourself if you're not starting.
Yeah.
So, like, that's like, yeah, in the nutshell, I think this episode actually went really well for the first one, because it's like, yo, this is stuff that we've been dealing with and talking about ourselves. And we're like, yo, you know what? Screw it. We're
covered a lot.
Yeah.
Got to learn a lot.
Exactly. So, like, I think going forward, it's just going to continue to grow. And I'm excited for, like, what's to come. But yeah,
I'm excited for the TikToks. You thought you could just sneak out of here.
Bro, this man was like,
I mean, I'll say it too.
Yeah.
You will see the podcast this Friday.
Yeah.
I'll be uploading to YouTube this week. I said I was going to do it weekly, so we'll be here. And this next week on Tuesday, you'll hear about it on Friday.
Yeah.
We'll talk all about how we uploaded our videos and saw how they performed.
It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be one of those things that are like, why did we do this? What were we thinking? This is the end.
We tried.
But yeah, I mean, literally, as you can see, the cards are dealt. Welcome to the NoFold podcast.
Welcome to the NoFold podcast.
And this is us signing off. Let's go.